What's going on, everybody? Check out this clip from the Pre-Patch podcast. Bill's been playing booby bounce. Butt lift. Stellar fucking blade. That's it. Stellar blade.
Stellar butts.
Stellar blade. I joke, I kid. I've actually I'm very excited for when this eventually does hopefully come to PC. But I think it was good. Stellar blade?
It is exceptional. It's honestly a lot better than I expected it to be. We talked about this a little bit on the podcast a few shows ago with the demo, and from the demo I already had like pretty decent expectations of the game, but not to the point the full game has kind of given. I was expecting it to be a lot more linear than what it was or what it is. The demo made it seem like, okay, you're gonna have these like zones that you're going through. There's going to be some like standard side paths where you branch off and find something or other. This game has surprised me in a few different ways in my 20-ish hours with it so far. One of which being what we're seeing on screen if you're watching live, where there's actually like open world segments to it. Not like totally open world, it's more open zone, but these are massive open zones. I spend a pretty well 6-7 hour stream entirely exploring one of these zones.
Is it like that one Final Fantasy with the car?
Kind
of like an open world concept to that one.
Yeah, it's similar to that. But ton of stuff, a lot of side quests as well. I wasn't expecting there to be like anything like that. And side quests that while they might not be the most exciting reward wise, some of them are pretty exciting, like you'll get new costumes or like upgrades and stuff for your character. A lot of them are just like mats and stuff that you're going to use to upgrade and buy things and stuff like that.
Sparkle.
But lore wise, every single side quest that I've went through so far has had a pretty decent story arc to it and something that's impactful to the game. And some like boss fights that were pretty surprising tied into them. Usually you don't see that kind of stuff tied into the side quests and whatnot, but
I'm so glad they added yellow paint to those ledges. Just gotta say.
Yeah. You like I'm surprised. Honestly, if this game didn't have so many other controversies, they would have picked on the yellow paint. So
yeah,
probably more than likely.
I'll pick on it. I want to know who is the person in the game, right? Not the developer. Who is the person in the game that was like, "Hey man, we need to paint these yellow. Why? I don't know. I feel like they need to stand out a little bit. Like it doesn't lore wise, it makes no fucking sense that there is yellow paint on these ledges. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's entirely just gamer.
Of course,
gamer stuff on that aspect.
What was the other one that had yellow paint? Was that the remake for Resident Evil that people were complaining about the yellow
paint? Resident Evil had yellow paint. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also has it has yellow paint on its cliffs and stuff. So, which with this game, I'm honestly happy that it does because there's so many even with the yellow paint and stuff, a lot of the routes of moving are pretty secluded. Like you have a scan feature with the drone and it will highlight like the climbing parts and stuff, but even still, man, it's more obscure than I expected, and the amount of exploration that this game has thrown in there has genuinely surprised me, especially considering this what we're watching on the screen is about 15 hours into me playing, and I just unlocked the double jump feature. So it kind of has like a Metroid.
Just unlocked double jump. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it kind of has a Metroidvania-esque approach to the open world as well, where you explore things, you realize there's stuff that you can't get to yet, and you don't know exactly why. I called that we were going to get a double jump 10 hours ago, and it took me another 10 hours to get it. But now I actually went back and got all the stuff that I missed that needed the double jump to get to. So if you like backtracking in that aspect, there's some decent stuff to do there. And it's not exactly like you're just going back to backtrack for that stuff. A lot of the side quests will take you backtracking into those zones.
Now,
So
is that 10 hours because you were side questing and doing it, or is that like 10 hours of straight just trying to grind
side
this?
questing and stuff like
Okay.
that. So
So maybe a little bit. I mean, if you were to,
yeah, if you push straight story, you'd probably get to where I'm at in probably the 5 to 7 hour mark.
okay.
But that just goes to show how much content there is in the exploration factor and the side quest factor.
So I do have
Go
some
ahead.
questions. I do have some questions about it. I mean, we continue to explain it because I want to bring up some of the controversy, and not about the movement and all that stuff. It's about some other stuff that I want to talk about. Go ahead and finish your finish. Finish your viewpoint.
Yeah. So with this, it's Souls-like, obviously. The difficulty has been there. It's not necessarily as hard as what I would say Liza P was. So if you got like intimidated by Liza P's difficulty, which is still, in my opinion, one of the harder Souls-likes to pick up and enjoy, this is not going to be to that scale, at least not yet. But it has a lot of unique things that I think are benefiting this genre. Specifically, like with the ranged mechanics that they threw in. There's a bunch of different ammo types that you can use with your drone gun arm thing, and it actually surprised me that they put you into a dungeon with the story. This is not like any plot spoiler. It's just kind of a dungeon explanation. So if you don't want any clued in there, just kind of tune out. But they did a dungeon where it disables your sword, it disables your scanner, and it entirely forces you to use that blaster. And it almost did it in like a horror game style way, like a genre shift in the middle of the game just for that mission. And it felt like Dead Space or Resident Evil in that aspect. So
like
that,
almost like a first person mode, or does it like stick you inside of that, or
it was still third person shooter, so you're still shooting
okay.
like you are right now, but it was the only option you had, and it kind of threw some weak spots on enemies, which I'm sure are going to be a mechanic later. Big glowing spots, like you shoot somebody in the head a few times and then a glowing orb pops up on the side of their head where you like knock something off, and then you continue to pound into that and it does increase damage. So it was very Dead Space, extremely Dead Space.
Yeah, I was about to say
and
it does remind me of Dead Space, especially when you're going into that or like that first person mode where you're in your pistol or whatever she's using.
yeah,
It reminds me very heavily of that.
It was a great change of pace, and it honestly like re-engaged me. Like I was like, oh shit, this is dope. After doing like 7 hours of open world stuff, it was a breath of fresh air. So I'm excited to see if more stuff like that pops up throughout my run of the game. But yeah, it's been a blast so far, and has honestly been probably one of my favorite games so far this year.
Game of the year?
I'm just maybe not game of the year. I think it's too niche for that.
Yeah.
But I will say for like open world RPG stuff, it's really good, and I didn't expect that from this game. It puts Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's like open world exploration to shame in a way, and that's wild to say considering the size difference between Square Enix and this team.
I love just for a moment that, and again, if you're listening to this after the fact to the VOD, I love that in our chat right now they are literally dialoguing this history of somebody painting these fucking yellow lines, just talking about how like it'd be cool, and then like someone's like, yeah, my father fell off a cliff, so now I have to paint them yellow so no one else will suffer. Like it's just like this whole history of this dude or person that is painting fucking yellow lines on.
We have made the lore for why they paint those cliffs yellow.
So I do have some questions kind of regarding because you played Nier, right? So you've played Nier, and this was, you know, the dev team and the developer obviously has talked about Nier and has talked very much about the love for Nier, and a lot of the I mean I say controversy earlier. I don't know if it's really such a controversy as more as this criticism that this is too much on the nose of being like Nier, right? Like you literally like it takes place in the desert. You know, the biome is like very, very close to Nier Automata. You've got your robot, which is very close to Nier Automata. You have the caricature, which or the main character, Again, some of even just like
got some assets.
Yeah, some of like the dialogue choices, the story beats, all very Nier-esque, to a point that it's kind of being like, hey, is this just, did you really just make Nier, but make it on your own? As someone that has played Nier, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
It's very Nier. Very
Nier.
It's obvious the inspiration is on its sleeve. With that comparison.
So,
but I don't think it hinders the game. I don't think it's to the point where it feels like it doesn't feel lazy. It doesn't feel like a side version. You know, it doesn't feel like a
doesn't feel like you're playing a conversion
like
mod
we
or
have
something.
Nier at home.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Right.
So
my
question,
it does enough things unique to differentiate itself, even if at this point the plot points are fairly on the nose.
Okay. Yeah, my question was just, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, y'all
are poking the fucking bear real hard right now.
Stop interrupting my question. God damn it. My question is just how close of a comparison would it be to like Nier Automata? Because like we were talking about and I can't remember the name of it now, but it was very Hades-esque like 2-3 weeks back. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
It was we were talking about that, and you guys were saying that like it was like a near, no pun intended, a near exact replica, right? Is this that close, or is this does it have enough to set it aside?
No, the only thing that's close to Nier in this game is its plot points in its world setup.
Okay.
The environments, the environments are fairly similar, and as far as the plot goes right now, it's definitely inspired. It's different enough. It's not a 1-for-1 take on the plot of Nier Automata or anything like that, but it definitely heavily inspired. As far as everything else goes, 100% unique. Does not play or do anything similar to how Nier Automata did in that regard, unless you consider swinging a sword around similar.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, it's something that I've seen a lot of mainstream, review sites and things like that talk about. Obviously, you know, again, they're some of that is clickbaity, right? But you can definitely still see, like when you look at it,
you can see it for sure.
You can absolutely see, and again, the dev has and the development team has come out and said, like, hey, like we, look, Nier Automata was a fucking great game. We love Nier Automata. Yeah. Like we are gonna make, we want to make.
And it even, I think the thing that like Yoko Taro, the dude who made Nier, has given it his stamp of approval. He has enjoyed it. He says that it's better than Nier in a lot of ways. So he doesn't. I'm
huge praises.
He seems to be taking it in the flattery type route than being pissed about it.
Which I think is a really good way of doing things. Like honestly, when it comes down to things, they're all making video games, right? Like, yeah, if it's just a blatant copy, obviously that's one thing. But if it's just a huge inspiration, like they took a lot of inspiration from it, like celebrate it. You know, we're all getting games. We're all getting good games in the end. Like,
exactly.
That's just my opinion of it, at least.
And
like, it's
Nier
not like
wasn't the first one to do like
anything. Like,
what was that?
I'm saying it's not like they're stealing sales or anything from the other games. So like, exactly what you said, like celebrate it, like embrace it. Like it's cool that we're all getting something that is unique for our likings.
Well, not only that, but it's one of those things where it's like I'm willing to bet, and obviously I don't have the numbers for it, right? But I'm willing to bet that people that are going to play this game that have played Nier before are probably going to play this game and then be like, you know what, I should go back and play Nier.
Yeah.
Again,
oh yeah, for sure.
Or
people that have been sleeping on Nier might give it a chance due to the comparison point.
Yep.
Yeah. This could be like baby's first Nier, like maybe it's not that, but I'm just saying like this could open their eyes, be like, you know what, maybe I would like Nier now playing this,
Depending on the suits that you're putting on, maybe you should be an 18-year-old first Nier. Just saying.
Yeah, for real, right?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, Stellar Blade, it's out right now only on PS5, correct? It's not anywhere else.
Yeah, PC eventually, maybe. Nothing's confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sony brings it to PlayStation or
have you gotten the Stellar Blade yet? Like, have they given you? Here, I have bestowed you the Stellar Blade.
No, but during that segment where your sword is disabled and stuff, you never know what the name of your weapon is until that moment, because you try to bring it out and it's like your sword's called like the Blood Edge or something, like super edgy. It's
nice.
The most out of pocket thing. It's like Blood Edge cannot be used at this time, and I'm like, whoa! I did not realize that we were going full anime with this. Okay,
what'd you think it was gonna be like? But purple butterfly is not usable right now.
Honestly,
the bubble buster,
or something like angelic themed, since it's like Adam and Eve, like stuff like that, like, and everybody's calling her Angel and stuff like. Angel's wings, something like that, not Blood Edge.
But
yeah.
God's tongue. Anyway, all right. There's a Stellar Blade. What? 70 full 70.
Yeah, full 70.
Full $70.
70.
Cool. All right. There you go. Go ahead. Get it one last time. Get it out of your system. I don't know. You got some perverted joke up your sleeve.
That's all I was gonna say. I was gonna say not cool for $70. That's it.
It's almost near 80, if you might say.
Oh man, go ahead, come on, let's get them all out now. I don't want to fucking deal with this shit later on.
Oh god.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the patch notes. And if you want to join us live, we stream every single Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. Also, if you miss the show, you can always catch us at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the show.